Hello, all of you out there and lovely energy practitioners and explorers, because we are always both. You are exploring and growing, and you're already in it. You're already doing it. Even if it's unconscious, it doesn't matter. We're all using energy. Okay, this said, the reason why I'm making this video is because I had a very interesting workshop weekend with Marcelo Palazzo. It was like all movement, yet sometimes you also touched another person to guide them in an exercise or to support. And there was a certain exercise where it was with a client of mine, a client from the fascia movement, and she was holding my head, and I was like, okay, what's happening? And it really blew my mind. I rarely have it that if someone touches me, that I can feel their the amazing strength in their hands that they have. And she was like, wow. And after the exercise, I was like, can I hold your hand? And that's the benefit, like clients who already know you, they're not like, you're a creep. She was like, okay. And I sensed, and I was like, what the fuck? And then it's like the specific spot where you can touch with your finger to feel how the energy was going. And I was like, okay. And then I did another thing, like, can you touch my arm? And I was like, what is it with your hands? Like, you have so much potential, but already a lot of energy in your hands. The thing is, I noticed that she was not aware of this. And also, we all have this, by the way. When you're not conscious and you still have some blockages, which is your talent and which is not fully developed, you're going to use actually not for so nice things. And that's okay. We are humans. Yet I was like, oh my God, if you're going to start using this like consciously and really to support another person's energy, or to use in art that you make, or while cooking or whatever, oh, this is going to be like amazing. So, your hands. It doesn't matter if you're the person, like the clients that I had this experience with, that someone is already like, whoa, your hands are like vibrating, what is this? We all can do this. One will need more practice than the other, and I, for instance, I really practiced on this without actually realizing that I was practicing it. So it started way back when I was like, okay, it's strange. I like feel like stuff in my hands. So what can you do? Like, very practically, what can you do? First of all, you can place your hands in front of each other and just sense the energy. Just like feel, what am I feeling? And play with this. You give yourself time. You play with this, you let it go open, and you feel stuff happening. If you're like, I'm feeling nothing, then you come back and you try again. It's really, what helps is that you place, now I'm sitting on a chair, and you place your feet firmly on the ground, and you just like play with it. And you're gonna feel, if you bring your hands closer, you're gonna feel something happening in the energy. And then when you bring them more outside, you're gonna feel it's a different kind of energy, yet the energy is still there. I love this, by the way. And then you can like see, if you change your hands, what is happening. If you, for instance, are not putting them in line anymore, you bring one more in front, one more to the back, do you still have connection? Because they're not in line anymore. And really focus to feel, do I still have the connection? And then you I actually, well, it's a long time since I've done it like this. It's really nice. You feel a lot. Okay, so while you're doing this, this is experimenting, this is practicing. When you're like, I'm already lost it, go back. Start again. It's this needs time. You need to like feel it. What I also love to do is like, okay, now I'm doing it differently. Is like, yeah, I'm building up the energy. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm like, let the energy like flow in between my hands and then play with it again. But keep the round, like keep the shape and feel the difference while when you were just having your hands flat. Oh, this asks more focus. And then back again. And then you can start playing with it. But honestly, be aware when you're playing with it and you're starting to, what I'm gonna do now, send it more out, put a warm intention to it. You don't wanna have shit energy spreading out. And if you do, energy attracts energy. So see what you wanna send out. So now I'm like, okay. And I have a plant, like right next to the camera. And I'm building up the energy a little bit more. I'm playing with it now. And now I'm putting the intention in it. I should do this more often. It's like, I'm actually doing it in the healings, but not like this playful, conscious way of doing it. And then you send it out. And I'm not looking at the plant because otherwise I'm gonna be distracted. You just let it send out. I'm looking away so you can really sense. Oh. You just sent out. Like you sent out the intention, the energy you want to send out. And when you're very in tune, I'm gonna. The plant wants me to stay. When you're really in tune, you really sense what the animal or the person or the plant in this case is like reacting to. How they are reacting. Like when I was taking it was probably stay. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna stay. But you're gonna, like, the more conscious you become of energy, the more you're gonna feel how it's reacting to what you're sending out. Okay. And what I got now is that the plant actually sent me thank you. It's like also during healings, I can really feel when it's enough. Or when it's too much, or if I would do more, it would be too much. And then it's like I get a very warm yet firm thank you, and then I know it's finished. So this plant was very like don't go, and then the thank you. Okay, what is another exercise that you can do? Start with objects. Okay, I didn't bring objects, but I want to make a video about this, but I didn't really prepare. Okay, but objects. You can also like start on yourself. For me, this is more difficult. So if you're just like starting to, okay, interesting things to feel. When you're starting to tune into, just practice on your boyfriend or girlfriend, or a friend of yours, or but watch out with animals. The animals often they really do not like it. It's like sometimes way too intense, especially when it's like practicing. I noticed that they are very sensitive to it. So respect the energy. I once did this Reiki thing that I actually didn't like. But there it was always like, you have to ask the energy. And I'm like, yeah, sorry, I'm not doing that. Because the energy is very clear. If you can like enter, you're allowed to do it or not. Like seriously, it's like, it's gonna be even more obvious than you get it. You don't have to ask permission. I don't work like that. I'm just like, if your physical body and your system of thinking has decided to come to this place and to be with me, then yeah, then the decision is already made. Same when I'm tuning in, it's like you feel it. You feel it if they're like, don't, or like, okay, enter. You feel it. You get invited to do so. If not, then it's like I'm knocking on the door and knocking again. But if you go and feel on a friend, you really go over. And especially in the beginning, do not try to make assumptions or make this whole story around it, or, oh yeah, this is what I'm feeling, and nah, 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 nah. Just feel. Don't let your brain take over. Like, feel and practice in experiencing the senses. Like, what are you feeling? Is it when you're going over something, also material, like this, you go over it? Like, what are you sensing? Are you sensing cold? Are you sensing warm? Are you sensing tinting? Are you sensing like really sensation? Are you sensing something in your own body? Very important to learn to feel that also, especially when you're working with people. Like, just sense, but don't make up stories in your mind. Don't try to already put like, oh, this is what I'm feeling, oh, that's what I'm feeling. Don't do that. Allow yourself to just sense and experience, and try to do this often. I actually, like I told you, I wasn't aware that I was practicing myself. I was doing it on a regular basis in the beginning, like really, yeah. Also with trees, oh my God, trees have learned me so much, like a lot, like learning to, I remember when I just started hugging trees, when I got in the zone, I call it the zone, like their zone, they were like, oh, it's just amazing. But I was in it for a second and then bam, out of it again. And I always got so frustrated, like, but that's the practice. And I was so determined that I just, every time I had a tree, I was like, okay, gonna feel you. Actually, that doesn't help. You have to be relaxed. And then they gradually allow you in. You can gradually flow and you allow yourself. So take your time, practice. And this is it's the begin phase, but start with it. Start to feel, don't be too hard on yourself. That's very important. And just start to learn to feel without thinking. That's actually the advice I can give when you're starting to activate your hands, and start to also explain to yourself what you're feeling, but not with, I think it's trauma of like, blah, blah, blah. No, don't do that. Just like, it's cold, it's warm, it's tinting, it's strange, I'm on this spot, and I feel in myself this, just the awareness of it. And then play with it, like really play with it. Like, you can feel everything. Like when people come to buy crystals, they are next to me, I feel their energy. I'm already like in da 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 with their energy. So that's already there. It just goes naturally. And then I like go over to the crystals. Sometimes that's not often, but sometimes I really take a crystal and I'm like, And then I ask them, can you actually like take this crystal? Because when it's not clear, I'm like not 100% clear. I'm like, can you touch it? And then I know it's a yes or it's a no, or like, wow, what's going on here? This is interesting to explore. So it's a play. It's a playing with, it's a feeling in, and start in the beginning. It's always starting in the beginning. My mother always said, do not walk if you're not even able to crawl like over the ground. Do not start walking. Your crucial, the crucial steps that you need to take to be able to walk, you cannot just simply put them aside. You need them to be able to walk in such a way that you're firmly grounded. So that's the advice of my mother, and I still take it with me, like every day. Because sometimes I want to rush. So for this, I would say, do not rush. Enjoy it, activate it, do not get frustrated. I know I'm very, it's easy for me to say, but I got also frustrated, it's okay. Just keep persisting in it. And most importantly, keep the trust. Trust the fact that you will get there. And also know if one day it's like, whoa, I'm already doing it. Look how awesome I am. Bah! And then the next day you're like, it's not working. Normal. All normal. Don't freak out about it. It's okay. It's the process. If you have any questions, let me know. If you loved this video, give me a thumbs up. And if you're like, wow, I actually want to know more about this, click the subscribe button. Don't know where it is somewhere, but you'll find it. And thank you.